I gave you a delicious meal. You got a delicious meal. Isn't that enough? Oh. Yes, I know a Wednesday night stream is weird, but my schedule is weird. Well, we had that Labor Day. A day of labor. And now I must labor on a different day because I did not labor on Labor Day. That's the twist ending. Kept you waiting, huh? Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do that. Oh, let's see what we got here. Blah, 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 blah. To right hand. Okay. Box right. Oh. Okay. Da, 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 da. I wish people would order these in the summer when it's slow. That way there's not a rush at the end of the summer. There's a text label on the panel showing the cat. Can you put an outline on this? Oh, you can. Oh, okay. What is the outline color? Here's what it says. Oh, there it is. All right. Why do they have to make this so complicated? Never so supreme. That's not that much better, but yeah, it's the cute cam because it's Bud. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? All right, let's see. Xbox right. Yeah, look at this one I found off Amazon. It's like in a bag for some reason. I think the price of these has gone up. Although I think I was pricing them. I was pricing them at 60. Oh, it's retail arbitrage. Oh. Ew, this one looks a bit beat up. Well, it came with a free cable. It's the only one that I could find. Okay. This is the right model, right? Oh, someone's been inside this one. Ugh, well. I don't know, but I've been having a hard time sourcing these on Amazon lately. You know, just like, actually it's been like that for a while. Like, you know, just like buy the controller. It's always like a different seller or something. Although sometimes you can get, I mean, I've gotten these as cheap as like $41 before. Body, Ballad of Gay Tony. Yes, Ballad of Gay Tony is sure to work after this. But I'm gonna. Oh wait, I guess you do get to see me have to build things and struggle on camera. So it is just like that other stream. Yeah. You know, Sonny, that's like my work from home radio. it's like watching a procedurally generated Office. What can I say? But yeah, I'm always programming. Well, I'm still working on. Oh man, they put that one in there tight. Still 2 more months of Evil Dead. So yeah, I was working on the video mode. I was working on the video mode this morning, and this afternoon I was working on some glitches we have to mitigate. X-Acto to scalpels? Well, it's still a razor blade. Look, first of all, it wasn't the ER, it was urgent care. And it only happened once in how many decades? So it's not too bad. Bud, stop. Bud, get away from that 2x4. 2x2. Oh, he hates that 2x2. That 2x2 killed his dog. It's like John Wick. Is this like refurbished or something? I could definitely, because you know, I've taken apart so many of these. I can just do it by feel at this point. I can feel if it's different. Like the tightness of the screws, or those analog caps really jammed in there too for some reason. The Ben Hex Sneak Stream? What does that mean? Oh, that's weird. These inside screws, it seems, well, I don't think it's because of this controller, but they slightly changed a while back. I should probably get I should get a new iFixit kit. I've had this one forever. I'm gonna still get all the bits, but yeah, I don't know, every so often inside screws on these feel a little weird. I still remember when I got this kit, it was at Maker Faire, what was that? Flushing Corona Park, you know, where Men in Black ended. Oh, was that your auntie? I think it was, yeah, it was at the after party of Doom. And some guy was, well, I was iFixit guy's like, hey, do you want a free kit? So that's where I got this one. Of course, pretty much the only thing I ever use out of it is these security Torx bits. But, you know, definitely gotten my use out of this free item. Bud, what are you doing over there? What? Oh, you're just standing. Why don't you sit where Cute Cam is? What have I been up to? Well, I'm still doing these as a side gig, which is why I'm doing it on a Wednesday night, which I prefer not to. Well, I actually had to go through and... Well, I did a stream where I did a huge order of these. I did like 8 at once. And I've been finishing up the post-launch support on the Evil Dead Pinball. And personal projects, I've been finishing up my automatic canned cat food dispenser. That's actually pretty close. I was this last weekend I was using up all of my GitHub AI credits because it was the end of the month. Although apparently that turns over on 9 p.m. for some reason. So I was vibe coding with that to see what it could do, and it's pretty crazy. Like, it set up a web server and everything on the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, so Just, you know, doing my day job plus this side gig, which I've been doing forever, and trying to catch up on my personal projects. So one thing I have made progress at in 2025 is catching up on my personal projects, because I've been falling behind for a while. As I get older, it's just hard to have the energy. And I know some people are like, oh, Ben, you seem to still have so much energy. It's like, trust me, I don't. I don't have nearly as much as I did 10 years ago. It's not the years. It's the years. Also the mileage. Just not on Monday. Oh yeah, Monday night, I think, what was I doing Monday night? I played Warzone with a buddy of mine. But actually, a good chunk of Monday, well actually pretty much all weekend I spent working on the code for the cat dispenser, although I also got some other chores done too. Let's see. This is a righty. Hefty lefty mighty righty. Oh, thanks for the super chat. You graced the Y button. Yeah, I hear there's a lot of that going on. Just accidentally grazing buttons. Not your fault. Nothing you could do. You did everything right. That's why when I test these controllers, well, I mean, there's no reason to test them on an Xbox when you can use a computer, but see, I'd be afraid of like renting some stupid Adam Sandler movie or something by mistake. So, you know, you never know what you could accidentally click on in that dumb marketplace. Why were they inside this controller? Who knows? Oh, I saw a Libyan terrorist van today at the bar. I put some pictures on Twitter. It was really weird. Like, all the paint was like wore off, but it looked like it was like on purpose, like a movie prop. The undercarriage was really clean for a vehicle that old. Maybe it was from Burning Man or something. I took a couple pictures of it. And of course there was a wall drug sticker on the back, you know, to complete the look. Beef. No. God. I'm not going to order any beef butter. That stuff's so... DoorDash is... It's like, why would I do that when I have a perfectly functional car? I think that's for, like, really lazy people or drunk people or people who get high all the time. Well, I mean, I told my story. Well, actually, we know. Shit, that's right. I ordered... Well, I use Uber Eats for... I mean, I have the DoorDash app. I just never used it, but... yeah, I did it twice in 1 month. That's crazy, because that was the first time I ordered it since, like... Well, I distinctly remember, it was 2022. It was when the second and last time I had COVID. COVID con. Oh yeah, that was the weekend I had to skip Murph because I had COVID. So of course, it's actually, yeah, I had to like, yeah, my hotel rooms, that was like, what, $300? You know, that's one of the reasons I actually don't really like going to Murph anymore. Like, there's like this shitty Best Western that I've gone to that one. I've gone to a couple hotels there, but even like a shitty Best Western, it's like $150 a night. It's like, this is ridiculous. And then, well, that's in Goshen, Indiana, and there was a Little Caesars between the hotels and the event. And I think the last time I went, well, that was 2021. Yeah, I went in 2021. And I think the pizzas were still like $5 because that was before all the inflation started. And then the next time I went, which was 2023, they had jumped to $8. I couldn't believe it. That was, well, I mean, I guess I can believe it, but it was like ridiculous. Order one from Uber Eats. Well, Sean, if you did that, the same driver would probably get all the orders. Yeah, I don't even, what is it? I used to maybe get like a Domino's delivered like once a month, but even that is like, it's gone up so much. Because here's the thing, this is always the way I think of things. It's like, it's not that I can't afford it. It's just that it's too much. It's like, no, this is stupid. You know, like if you're like Elon Musk and you go to Disney World and they want $12 for a bottle of water, you're still going to think this is stupid. Ugh. Keep your powder dry. Ugh. It's a little sticky at the end. It's bread. Actually, that's only the second tip I've ever had. I don't know, like, I think you should always try to be frugal. My rule in life is be frugal. So if I don't have, if you're frugal, then you're able to like spend money if you have to. If that makes any sense. Be cheap so you don't have to be cheap. And I've only got a couple months left in the prime demographic, and really there's only 3 things left that I want. I want a truck, a chainsaw, and some land. Oh yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, the pizzas were still like $5 in 2021. Yeah, that was great. You would just go down to Little Caesars and you buy a shit ton of pizzas and then bring them over and then everyone eat them. It was cheap. It was great. At Murph, I mean. Actually, I was just talking to one of my Murph friends earlier. He built a copy of my film scanner. So this weekend I'm going to help him with the software. Because of course I've completely forgotten all the dependencies that I used. It uses OpenCV, Open Computer Vision. All right. Yeah, I had the. He texted me earlier. He was confused about this one part, and I'm like, well, you know, it's all 3D printed, but I didn't want the film to touch 3D prints because they're very abrasive. So most of the gates, or the things the film touch, I cover with strips of microfiber cloth. But then the Super 8 film, when it goes through the gate, the top and the bottom of it, which would, because the film goes in sideways, so the top and the bottom, or the sides of the film, go through like this. So for the top and the bottom, I actually asked AI, because I built this project in a way that it can be duplicated by others, you know, all standard parts. So I asked AI, what's the most common thin piece of plastic that you can easily find anywhere and is a consistent thickness? And it said gift cards. Is 0.07 millimeters, I want to say. So he was a little confused by that. I'm like, oh yes. So you cut a slice of gift card and you glue that to the bottom and then you glue it to the top. And so the edges of the film lengthwise, so if this is 8 millimeters, the edges of the film touch this, and there's a microscope on the scanner, so you see it up close, and yes, it's pretty smooth compared to the 3D prints. Yeah, so that part was a little confusing to him. I'm like, yeah, I know it's weird, but you know, AI made me do it. It put a gun to my head. Practice my skills. Yeah, I don't want to end up like my stepdad and get myself in the leg with it twice. I don't know. I think he was just careless. Although I couldn't help but be reminded of him when I cut my finger open and had to put a bunch of stuff around it and then drive to the whatever place. Because he would do that with like shooting nails through his fingers with an air gun. Because the thing, humans actually do have a sixth sense. It's called proprioception. It's knowing where your limbs are in space, kind of like that well, they don't do it anymore, but like the drunk test where you close your eyes and you do this, they're testing your proprioception. Because, you know, your proprioception would affect your, you know, your leg on the gas pedal and whatnot. So usually proprioception keeps me from drilling into myself. Which I still haven't done, so I guess, you know, I'm due, right? They could be, yeah, okay, if you say so. Yeah, the copay isn't fun. Jeez, so stupid. Oh yeah, insurance keeps you from going bankrupt. Oh, $5,000. Oh yeah, just pull that out of my ass. I mean, I can pull it out of my ass, but a lot of people can't. I mean, $5,000 might as well be $50,000. No, I won't get started on that. Ah! Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, that glue's upstairs. That's okay. I got more of it. Got unlimited supplies of glue. Try touching your fingers together through a camera? Oh, okay. Eh, not too bad. Let's see. D-pad, hold on. Proprioception, are you hyper affected by VR? You mean like nausea or something? I mean, I guess proprioception could affect you in VR. Like you might think it's like your limb or something, and then you'd have a phantom pain, like Metal Gear. Metal Gear. My voice is different. Yeah, Sean. You know what I thought was the worst part was when they stuck the needle into my wound to numb it. That was the most painful part. By a country mile. But it was a brand new knife, so the doctor was like, "Well, this should heal nicely." And yeah, actually, it's been a couple years now. Actually, that was like what, 4 years ago? Jeez. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, it took a while, but all the nerves seemed to have reattached in some fashion. It felt kind of, well, a little bit of it felt numb for a while. Well, hopefully your finger's all right. What did you cut it on? OBS disconnected? Are you still here? Hello? Are we still here? Yeah, I got a notification that it... Are we back? It says it reconnected on my side. Yes? No? Maybe so? Bud, we're using Bonsai Buddy over there. Bonsai Buddy. Hey, this computer works a lot better than the last one. Well, anyway. Yeah, there's a computer over there. But, yeah, I want to say it's like a 2014 i7, so it's pretty old. And, of course, it's not Windows 7. And it's had, like, memory issues, too, so... I don't know. Actually, maybe I should take it to the free pile next week at VCF. That free pile is going to be more like a free mountain this year. So anyway, I don't need that. I mean, I never use it anyway. I mean, I used to, but there's really no reason now, so... I was thinking about just, like, getting it out of here and, like, just rearranging, reusing the space. Yeah. Also, maybe, like, rearranging my bins. I've got some shelves here, too. I used to have my extra TV down here, but I never used that. So then I put up these shelves, and really all they do is they just hold things. Well, I guess it's kind of obvious. Like, right now they've got all the parts for a Voron, which I haven't had the time to build yet. But the shelves are kind of static, so I don't even know if shelves was the best use of that space. I mean, really, if anything, I'd almost rather have more, because I got my parts bins mounted in the concrete. Yeah, I'd almost just rather have more bins. Because there's some of my bins where, I don't know. Well, I guess I could just rearrange them. Because there's definitely, you know, some stuff I use more than... Like, most of the time I get resistors or microcontrollers or headers or connectors or things like that. But so that's, what, 3 of the bins? I've got quite a few here. I think I can. Yeah, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, then 14. There's 2 more over there. But yeah, I don't use all of them. It's nice to have them all, but I think they could be arranged better. Back to Cute Cam. Audio device desyncing? Well, OBS said it was disconnected, so I assumed that meant that the internet was disconnected. That's probably Bonsai Buddy. Keith, I don't have that many bins. I don't need to wally it up. Although I do have, well, I have this one over here to my left. That's got all the parts for this. So, you know, that's good to have that in arm's length so I don't have to, like, get up. But I do have more of these bins that are just, like, empty and not being used. I don't know if they still sell these bins at Menards anymore. I think they might have discontinued them. But it's okay, I think I have enough. Well, actually, I got a couple over there, too. Yeah, so I probably have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them that aren't on the walls. But I don't know. Because I don't think I haven't changed anything down here since I moved in, so. Yeah, that might be. I don't know if it'd be fun, but something useful to do, I guess. It's like, well, what would I do different now that I've used this room? Well, I don't use it as much as I used to, but, you know, I've been here for 7 years now. I've lived in this house. I mean, most of the stuff I did before I moved in, like, there was a, well, it wasn't a support wall, but it was like a extra wall. So I removed that just so that there'd be a pathway instead, because that's way more useful. Then I kept all of the paneling and used it to build a bigger box around the water or the drain access in the other room, which actually did come in handy earlier this year because I had to call Roto-Rooter. And I was all worried about, well, because there was a hex drain in the floor in the other room there for access to the sewer pipe. And so it was just like in the middle of the floor, but I don't think it had been opened in a million years because it was like under the carpet. So when I did the interlocking planking flooring stuff, at first I thought I would just cut a hole around it, but then a friend of mine was like, well, why don't you just extend the water box thing out, and then you can make like a bigger, you can make like a table basically, and then just put doors on it, so then if you need to, you can open the doors and then you could access the drain thing, and that's what I did. And then, yeah, like a year later, yeah, well, it actually was a root. I guess that's why they call it a roto-rooter. It's probably the #1 cause. And I actually sent them a photo of it ahead of time, like, well, here's the access point, because I was kind of nervous if I'd done it good enough. And they're like, oh, this is fine. They're like, nice job. And I'm like, oh, cool. So, yeah. And then I texted the friend of mine who had suggested that, and I'm like, hey, guess what? Your idea worked. He's like, of course it did, heckin' darn. I have like 3 friends I always bounce stuff like that off of, like Hilton, Mike, and another Mike. Oh, Sean, is that like the one where they go out in the road and it's all flooded and they like stick a thing in it and then it all drains out? I think I've seen that, if that's the one you're talking about. Okay, so this is a righty. A new shop, nice. Like, that's cool. Where's it at? Get my love. Oh, that's a nice new clean tube of glue. It's unmolested. Man, I miss the Hobby Lobby that used to be on this side of town. It was like half a mile past Cigar Bar. It was so convenient. But then technically it got moved to West Town. Yuppie world. I mean, I don't know. I think when you live in a city long enough, you get used to like things being so close. So if it's like, oh my god, I gotta drive 15 minutes to go to Hobby Lobby, it feels like it's too far away. It's a big frickin' Hobby Lobby. It's where it's Westtown Mall in Madison. So where the Sears used to be got split up into a Total Wine, a Hobby Lobby, and a Dave & Buster's, I want to say. It was a big frickin' Sears. Actually, that's a Sears where I bought this screwdriver. Robo-rooter? Oh, I've got a follow-up question, Keith. Why does the city plant a tree after they redo the sidewalk, knowing full damn well where my sewer line is? Maybe they've got a kickback deal with the Roto-Rooter. I printed up a whole bunch of these. I guess we got a whitey. And then, oh, that's wrong. That's right. Red. Yes. Ooh, that sucks, Sean. Yeah, Keith, that's what the Roto-Rooter guy said. It was, well, of course, because I was asking him a bunch of excruciating autistic questions about it. And he's like, well, you got an iron standpipe here and blah, blah, blah. But where it intersects at the street, it's clay for some reason. And the roots go through the clay, and that's what clogs it up. And then he pulls it out, and he's like, yep, there you go, roots. And I'm like, that fucking tree. Because I know they redid the sidewalk here, or put in the sidewalk, I think. Because actually a lot of the streets around me don't have sidewalks, but my street does. Which actually increases your property value, or your tax. But yeah, I want to say they did all of that like in 2011. So I can go on like Google Street View and like see all the different trees that were there. And yeah, so that tree that they planted, that Man, yeah, that wasn't that long ago. Like what, 14 years ago, and it's pretty big tree. 14 years. There aren't many plumbing conspiracies. Well, I mean this seems like one because the sidewalk and the grass between it and the road is owned by the city, not you. Even though you have to keep the sidewalk clear and mow the grass. So I'm just saying, like, I couldn't plant a tree there, but so the city did. So like, you know what? 15 years from now, when you make $150 off of that roto job, you're gonna kick back some of that money to us. Yeah, the Roto-Rooter mob. Nice looking drain pipe you got there. Sure would be a shame if we planted a tree on top of it. Say, boss, I got the plat lines of all the drainage lines all around the city. All right, I want you boys to go drop acorns on all those sites. And 15 years from now, we'll be swimming in loot. Gee, boss, what if we get caught? Shut up, you numbskull. All of them Beagle boys are going all over town planting acorns. Scrooge isn't gonna like this. There's gotta be some, someone could ask AI, there's gotta be some reason for it. But yes, it transitions from iron or lead to... Well, I mean, if it's lead, it would be somewhat malleable. And it wouldn't crack either, unlike clay. There's got to be a reason for it. But yeah, basically, it's clay where it intersects, where your pipe intersects with the sewer. I don't know. I will say this. Yeah, like, so I can't, well, yeah, because it's my work from home area in the basement here. Yeah, the room. I came down, then I looked over, and I was like, whoa! And there was all this water, like, in the other part of the basement. And, it wasn't like a ton, but it was probably like one shower. I'm sure that's what it was one shower's worth. And I was like, oh, that sucks. So first I called the city, and I was like, hey, can you check the, can you check to see if there's a blockage, on the street? Because, got all these leaves and stuff going on the street. And they were probably there in like 30 minutes. So I guess it's our tax dollars at work. Because we pay enough of them. But then they're like, okay, we checked it. The city line is clear, so you're going to have to call Roto-Rooter. They're like, we don't cover that. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And I think Roto-Rooter came the next day. And somehow I was able to not take a dump for one day. I don't know how, but I did. Because I actually went to the bar that night, and of course I was thinking, maybe if I need to, I can do it here, but I didn't have to somehow. A script for Chippendale, yeah. What was it, Fat Cat? That was the bad guy, right? On Chippendale. Oh. What was the song that was like Chippendale, Rescue Rangers, Chippendale, when there's danger, something like that. I didn't. Well, I think my sister well, I guess I watched it too, but I was older when that came out, so I wasn't as interested. Although I really liked watching Batman the Animated Series. That was great. Like back in what was that, 92? I think that was usually on like after school. I think like on Fox. Oh, I remember one. Because my little brother, who's from my mom's second marriage, is like 11 years younger than me. So, he would obviously watch like different movies and shows. But I remember one that he had was, I don't know which version of it was. It was The Wind in the Willows, and for whatever reason, my sister and I enjoyed it more than he did. I'm not sure which version it was, but I don't know. It was just so funny because they had like the Toad characters, like, oh, I'm Toad, I'm going to be a washerwoman. For some reason, we just thought that was freaking hilarious. Oh dear, Toad's gone into the wildwood. See, I still remember it all these years later. La-da-da. Well, and I remember when Disney made Gargoyles, as that was kind of like their version, their Batman animated series. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm supposed to use Hall effects on these now. Damn it, I'm in autopilot mode. Toad's gone into the wildwood. I'm a washerwoman. The Monty Python version? No, it was animated. It was, I don't know who made it. It wasn't Disney. Because that would have been like, well, that would have been like the early 90s, and the animation makes me want to say it was from the 70s probably. I don't know who made it. I don't remember. My mom probably still has a tape. Maybe. I don't know. I still got to convert all those Super 8s into Boomer DVDs. Well, I emailed one of the files to my Aunt Renee because I exported the scene of her wedding because apparently there wasn't any photos of it, so like the Super 8 was all that was left. And I figured they were tech savvy enough to do it, and they were, but my mom certainly can't. But if I give her a Boomer DVD, she could probably figure it out. Well, it's kind of a waste because the resolution is much better than DVD. There we go. Hall effect sensor. Crap, I think I need to order more of those. I used a bunch of them up. Oh yeah, I've only got 2 left. The Monty Python version in 1996, I'm pretty sure it was before that. The Secret of Nim. You know, I don't think I've ever actually seen The Secret of Nim. I don't... Yeah, it's weird. I thought... You'd think I would... Well, maybe not, because it was a flop in the theaters, and then that was before videotape was mainstream, so actually I probably didn't. Because I remember when we started like renting videotapes. Well, actually, we didn't have a VCR originally, so we would actually rent the VCR too. In the mid 80s, we would rent stuff like. Well, it was me and my sister, so we would get stuff like Transformers or Mask. And then what did she like? I think she, oh god. I can't remember the stuff. Well, I mean, obviously, Romancing the Stone. I mean, that's better than any of that stuff. That still holds up. No, Secret of Nim was the first movie that Don Bluth made after he left Disney. Because back in the 70s, Disney was like in bad shape, and they were cutting the budgets on their animation big time. That's like when well, speaking of the Rescuers, if you watch something like The Rescuers, to save money, they wouldn't even paint in white eyeballs on creatures. They would just have like whatever color their face was, and then they would just draw the eyes, the eyelids, and the pupil with one color. So yeah, there was a lot of like cost savings. So Don Bluth, of course, is most famous now for, Dragon's Lair. He was like, screw this. Because even at that time, Don Bluth was like old school Disney. Like he'd worked like in the 50s. So he started his own studio. And the first movie they did was The Secret of Nim. which is about mice, I think. But it was a bomb, and so Dragon's Lair kind of saved his company. And then after that, he did an American Tail, and that was pretty successful. And then yeah. What was the last time they made? Probably like Titan AE. Yeah. Okay. So again, I don't think I've ever seen it. Now, isn't NIM actually the National Institute for Mental Health? Like, it had some sort of connection with, like, rats being tested, or am I confused? Like, I thought there was some sort of, like, weird connection like that. Wind in the Willows from '83? Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, animation style. I just remember on that Wind of the Willows, the frog or the toad or whatever. Yeah, Mr. Toad. He had a really funny accent, so we thought that was really funny. He's like, I'm a washerwoman. Now, speaking of laser discs, I was watching some sort of YouTube. It was some YouTube. It was about some place called like Fun Spot Arcade, like this weird arcade, like in Connecticut or New Jersey or something. It looked like a castle. And the premise of the video was that this place had like this super rare game called Galaxian 3 inside of it. And I was watching the video. I'm like, I've played that before, like the Unix system, you know. So I guess I was lucky that I played it. I think it was at Disney World, actually, many, many years ago, or maybe it was at Epcot. God, I can't remember. I just know that I played it because I remember being really, really impressed by the graphics, and I didn't realize at the time it was using a laserdisc. Because apparently it overlaid simple polygonal ships onto a laserdisc background, which means so you could like blow up the ships and stuff. Yeah, I mean they had polygonal stuff back then, like like Stun Runner and hard driving and stuff, but not like that. But yeah, it was like I played the 6-player version. So it's like now that, you know, everything's like that now. So it was like picture like one of those like Raw Thrills games, like The Walking Dead or whatever, but it was like, you're kind of all in an enclosed space, kind of like Star Wars Battle Pod. And there's 6 of you, and you all had guns, and then you're like in space. So yeah, I did not realize that game was so rare. Oh really, Krillin? So does it have like? I'm sure that's the one I'm thinking of. That sounds like the right era. And for some reason, there's a Wildwood, and all I remember is like there's a toad, and like there's another character I think might be a rabbit or something, and they all have like these British accents. And then Toad turns into a washerwoman for some reason, and then he goes into the Wildwood, and then that's about it. Yeah, they're all CAV, which it's constant angular velocity, so. It's just a fancy way of saying it's 1 frame per rotation. That's why it could freeze, because it would basically just leave the head in one place. But it was super inefficient because obviously it was spaced out more here than in here, so you only got 30 minutes per disc. But if you were like a big time like movie snob back in the 90s, you would get the CAV versions of movies like Jurassic Park, so you could like still frame and step through the amazing The amazing special effects. And then they also use that for obviously all the Laserdisc games. Although most of the Laserdisc games, or the Laserdisc players, also had a feature where it had enough memory to do a still store of the last frame, so it could freeze that while it did the seek for the next section. I actually have one here, but it's broken. It's like a... It's a Sony something or whatever. It's basically like, probably like... Yeah, I mean, I could use it for my project, but it doesn't work. And I've heard that it's better just to buy a new one than, or buy a new used one than to try to repair it. Now you can put it in Krillin. I don't give a crap. Just don't put any Bonsai Buddy stuff in there. Oh dear. I'll send it to my sister. Yeah, that might have been where it was, Keith. Yeah, it'll like load the disc, but then it will immediately eject it. So I have no idea how to fix it. A friend of mine who has an arcade, he's like, oh, I've got one of those Sony things, but I think it needs working. So he gave it to me. I kind of feel like he was just trying to give me garbage. But I don't know. I need to finish other projects before I can make Dinosaur's Lair. Although I do think that would be really funny to make. And of course, you can just make that with a Raspberry Pi. but what's the fun of that? Oh, not bug. Earlier, like between my day job and this, I did my errands and I stopped by the bar, and one of the bartenders always calls me Newman for some reason, probably because his other bartender started calling me that, so he always like goes, hello, Newman. And so we were discussing that if Dennis Nedry had somehow gotten off Jurassic Park Island, like $1.5 million, like would that really have been enough to like be a fugitive for the rest of his life? Because I mean, like if he ever got caught, like he would get sued, plus he'd have how many charges of reckless manslaughter probably? I put it through AI as well, and well, we were also looking up like interest rates in 1993, and the AI was like, well, yeah. Well, the AI concluded that if he was frugal with his money, he could probably do it. Like if he invested it, like even at like nominal interest, like 1.5 million would easily be enough to live on in like Mexico. But still, I don't know. Even back then, that didn't seem like a lot of money for the amount of risk he took. And then it's implied in the movie that he owes money. So, what was his plan? To like pay off his debt and then be a fugitive? Because how would they not know it was him? Although maybe, well, actually, yeah, maybe he was expecting that nothing would happen. But still, he would be, he'd still be liable. He'd be sued by the company. Because yeah, like, why was it that like, did he make a mistake? Like, shouldn't the park have turned back on? Like, why didn't it? Like, if it wouldn't have been for Dennis Nedry, maybe the whole park would have been okay. Just have like these lame T-Rex shows where he won't eat goats. Or maybe the park would have failed because it was too boring. T-Rex wants to hunt. These questions and more will never be answered. Except for in Jurassic Park Afterbirth World Dominion. John would have been at fault? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because in that scene with Dotson, he says, "Don't get cheap on my Dotson," and then you can barely hear it, but I noticed this the last time I watched it on Laserdisc. Don't get cheap on me, Dotson. That was Hammond's mistake. So, you know, he's doing it because he doesn't feel like he's getting paid enough, but that's Hammond's mistake, but isn't it also kind of like Nedry's mistake? So I guess that's alluded to in the movie even before, like, I will not get drawn into another financial debate with you. I simply will not. Is that fleshed out in the books more? Like, Nedry woke up from the casino parking lot in his own vomit. "I did it again," he said. "My only recourse is to become a criminal." AI mashup of Jurassic Park and Fantasy Island. All right, let's see. So this. Oh, I forgot to drill the other hole. Proprioception, don't fail me now. Ah! Ask your doctor if proprioception is right for you. Do not take proprioception if you are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. So, all women under 40? Well, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because really, you know, that does cover a lot of women. Except for Bridget Jones. "I can't find a man. I could take all the drugs I want, 'cause I'm single." "Oh, look, it's Hugh Grant." "Hello, are you on any drugs?" "Oh, I'm on tons of drugs, because I can be. Oh." They should make one more sequel called Bridget Jones's Funeral. I think you're secretly describing Westworld, which was also written by Michael Crichton. Man, that show really shit the bed. Maybe Bad Robot should just give up. "Hey, Alan, do you think we should lock that door?" "No, I don't think so. It's highly unlikely that raptors know how to turn a handle." "Well, could we just lock the door and be sure?" No, it's fine. I don't think they're that smart." Speaking of not smart, how come that bratty boy over there can't just, like, stop looking at the computer screen and just push that shotgun toward us? Very good question. He was giving his sister moral support. How to slide shotguns 5 feet so people can use them. I know this. And then Hammond gets upset because he's shooting at his dinosaurs. It's like, well, at least somebody thought to do that. Maybe Alan Grant should have been the big game hunter. He at least, like, got off some shots. Regular round door. Yeah, that would have been like how it should have ended. Like you'd see the claw trying to open the doorknob, and then it would cut to credits. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, speaking of Bad Robot, like, what happened to J.J. Abrams? Did he just give up? He's like, oh man, Last Jedi sucked. I'm gonna put myself in movie jail. Goodbye, cruel world. I'm gonna go make a Felicity reboot. You know, I actually think J.J. Abrams is a really good director. The problem is he directs shitty scripts, most of which he writes. Whereas Spielberg always got really good scripts. Well, I don't think Jurassic Park script is that great, but obviously it's a great high-concept movie. Like, I mean, like, if you gave, like, Minority Report script to J.J. Abrams, I'm sure he could have done a great job. But, you know, Spielberg would get that script. That was a great movie. I actually also really like AI. Like, Spielberg made, like, 2 cracking futurism movies, like, right in a row. I think they were kind of the same time period, too, like the 2050s. Although I don't think either one of them says for certain when they take place. I think AI might have been further into the future. Because the polar ice caps have melted, turning the world into a water world. Nothing's free in water world. Yeah, I don't know why people didn't like. I thought AI was great. Because it's like a legit solid sci-fi movie. And actually that was one of 2, well, speaking of writing, that was one of the 2 times that Spielberg actually wrote a script and then directed it. The other one was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, what I liked in AI was what was his name? David? The robot main character, like, he actually breaks all of the rules. He breaks all of Asimov's rules in that movie. I don't know if that was intentional. I mean, it probably was. And it's overly long, just like Minority Report, but I don't know, I thought the ending was really cool. It's like, oh look, the Earth is completely screwed. And all that's left is this one robot. Actually, not that long ago, I think I rebought that on Blu-ray. Oh, yeah, because I had the DVD, but I didn't have the Blu-ray, so not that long. I'm pretty sure I watched it. It was probably like in the last couple of years. All right, this is Ground. Yeah, because the temperatures rise and the caps melt, but then everything freezes again. So who knows how far into the future it was. And the creatures at the end were not aliens; they were super advanced robots. I don't know why people. It's like, why is this confusing? Because it was kind of like a, you know, it was kind of an origin of a origin of a species kind of thing. You know, and as usual, there was like tons of, you know, religious parallel. Like his name is David, you know, like the Bible hero, and then he gets exiled from paradise. You know, like when they dump him off in the woods. And I don't know where Jude Law fits into the Bible, but I'm sure he does. The Bible needed more badass robot teddy bears too. They should just make a movie about that Teddy, the teddy bear. Yeah, that was back. Yeah, that was back before they did MythBusters. There was one recently where I think Adam Savage talked about working on Bicentennial Man, which is also a really underrated, serious sci-fi film that I think people just mistake for like a goofy Robin Williams comedy, but it's actually a really good science fiction film. Also about robots. It's almost like robots are just an analogy for like the human species themselves. Try not to hit a resistor this time. Yeah, you know, for being like one of two movies written by Spielberg, I thought AI had like this really like nice naturalistic dialogue, especially like when he was still like with the family. Just like the way they all talk, especially like, well, the mother was like really good in that movie. But yeah, I don't know. Everything was just like really naturalistic. And well, obviously Spielberg's a great director, but I think, yeah, it's too bad he doesn't write more movies because he's pretty good at it. Okay, so left bumper. So this is right. So right is to the right, or red is to the right. Shit, where's red? I better double check. iRobot. Oh, hell no. I thought iRobot was good too. I just like robots. Anything with robots I'm going to enjoy. Yeah, I wonder what my favorite robot movie is. I don't think Terminator counts. What? Come on. Okay, yeah, so that's right facing this way. Okay, so that's the red one. He took the red one. Alright, so we go this way. Yes. There's a very faint red mark. Oh shit! Yeah, wasn't that a not Red Letter Media, the robot in the family? That looked awful. You know what that probably was? Because I think this happens a lot. Like, it's like, so here you got a script for me. Yeah, it's about this comet that comes to Earth, and it blows up everybody. I don't want that. And then you're like, let's make a movie about an asteroid that comes to Earth. And then some other studio's like, oh yeah, we'll make your comet movie. And that's how you end up with like Deep Impact and Armageddon the same year. In fact, I guarantee that's what happens. So yeah, someone was like, I don't know, Robin Williams, it's gonna be kind of expensive. What if we made our own robot movie? Yeah, boss, we could save lots of money. Yeah. Yeah, Robot in the Family looked pretty goddamn awful. Hey, and Bicentennial Man has M. Beth Davidson in it from Army of Darkness. What of all those kind words you spoke in private? That was just pillow talk, baby. Give me some sugar, baby. First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Blow. And well, you're raising a barn. Probably were raising a barn with the rest of the Neanderthals. Oh man. Maybe I shouldn't say this publicly, but like there is actually a chance that somewhere down the road we might actually do Army of Darkness Pinball 2. We couldn't attach the rights to it when we did this one because it's a little stickier, but it actually could happen. So that would be awesome. I think that would make it an even better pinball machine. Like you could have like a pit with like spikes and stuff, and you could have like a windmill and skeletons and like the death machine that he turns his car into. I think it would be a lot more visually interesting for pinball. Yeah, they'll probably be like, oh, Ben, if you code 4 more games for us, we'll make Army of Darkness. And Bruce will be even older, but I don't know. You know, some people had an issue with like the way Bruce did his lines, but I guess I'm getting off topic, but I don't know. I mean, see, Ash is, well, whatever. There you go, pinball news. Oh, we gotta finish building the Evil Deads. I think we're like up just about halfway through. I mean, I don't build them, but well, I mean, I have to like sometimes to like do stuff during production, like if something comes up or whatever. But I just program. Why would I build it? Oh, I really did not like Chappie at all. It was like, I mean, the robot was cool, but the movie was like tonally baffling. It's like it could not pick a lane. Like, I remember one day we were at work and Felix was like, oh man, I rented that Chappie movie and it sucked. And, you know, this is after, well, I guess he had done Elysium, but, you know, it's like, I'm surprised that that's not good because, you know, his other movie, what's his face? What's that director's name? Neil Blomkamp. His other movies are pretty good. But I watched it and I was like, oh God, yeah, you're right, Felix. I remember another one. It was weird 'cause I didn't see it, but I remember like Karen, Max, and Felix all saw it, and they just were so disgusted by this movie. They like for weeks and weeks they just complained about it. It was the Disney Wrinkle in Time. It's like they're like, oh my God, that was so awful. And I'm like, oh man, could it have really been that bad? I never saw it, but I just remember like for a while there at the shop that was like this major point of discussion. Like they were just complaining about it over and over and over. It's like I loved that book when I was a kid. I read that book over and over and over again. But I guess I don't know. I never felt. I guess when I was a kid, I probably would have loved to see the movie. But yeah, I guess I wonder if I would have recognized anything from it. I'll have to ask Max. I can't remember exactly what what sucked about it. I just remember they said it was awful. I know something else, like Karen and I disagreed on a lot of stuff. We didn't always get along very well, but I remember we did agree. Neither of us liked Rogue One, and most people love that movie, so that was a weird thing to actually agree on. That was Breakfast at Tiffany's for us. It's kind of overrated. I said, yeah, it's really not that good. Oh yeah, Oprah was in it, right. Drew Garrett, are you still taking on custom builds? I don't do custom builds, and I've also turned down a lot of repairs. I had a couple of repairs that I wasn't able to repair, and it kind of disenfranchised me. So I still do these. I mean, you can go on my website and order one of these, and it's definitely slowed down since like the COVID years, and but I still make them. There's like a big rush lately, which would have been nice if that was spread out over the summer, just so there's like, you know, spread out, because summer is always very slow. Yeah, so like work. I do the pinball coding 40 hours a week, and then, well, I prefer not to do these at night, but here I am. I don't know. That's actually why I stream. It helps me cope with you know, being 49 and still like doing a side gig once a week, because I don't know, I'd rather just be like playing video games or something. I mean, who wants to work? Yeah, so I am trying to catch up on personal projects, which means hopefully soon I'll have hopefully some new like YouTube videos after hardly anything all year. So it's not that I'm not doing stuff, it's just sometimes it's not always public facing. And I'm supposed to start on another pinball machine. Yeah, next month now, October, so yay! Although, you know, I think this economy is awful. I think it's fake. I think it's way worse than they're letting on, and has been for at least 2 years. So, you know what? Money is money. I need to put my money where my mouth is when it comes to the economy and not take risks, at least not for now. Although, well, yeah, like last year. Yeah. Well, good luck finding it. Let's just put it that way. Last year, this was like last May, so like 2024. I just woke. It's gonna sound awful. I woke up one morning and I just had this urge to buy some gold. Well, I had an urge for a long time. So. There's actually a couple places around here, and that was right after it first spiked, and it was also, I had no idea until I talked to the guy, but in March of 2024, the illustrious governor of Wisconsin, Evers, not a fan, actually, well, I'm a fan of this. It's weird too. He did this thing where people in Wisconsin do not pay sales tax on gold. I don't know why, but it just changed like like March of 2024, and so it was like this perfect nexus. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. And secret genius. I just had a gut feeling, you know. Well, then I lost it in a boating accident. But I think it's one of the reasons it's up so much is because, you know, all this debt and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's pretty sketchy. Is the website linked somewhere? Yeah, it's benheck.com. benheck.com. That website is, God, 21 years now. Jesus. Yeah, why do you need to buy one? Yeah, there's upper left hand corner of the website. There's a store link. If you're looking at it on a cell phone, you might have to click the 3-bar hamburger menu to drop down the menu link. But yeah, it's still there. It's got a PayPal link. I only do Xbox Core right now. I was doing PlayStation 4 controllers when I could get those Hories. I think I still have one. Oh, do I have 2 of them? Oh, I do. I would use these for PlayStation 4 because they're easy to mod on like a PlayStation 4 or 5 controller, and then I actually reprinted a replacement for all this. So you just remove this, and then you attach this to a new custom 3D printed back. It worked pretty well, and actually they were a little cheaper than the Xbox controllers because they're cheaper and they're also simpler to make. But I can't easily source those Hories anymore. You used to be able to just get them off Amazon for like $30, and then it was like available from these sellers, and now it's like, well, I haven't. That's why I took it off the website. Now it's like I have to go to eBay basically, which is, I don't know, it's not consistent enough. And I've tried a couple times. I bought, not for a while now, but the first year or so, I bought like a PlayStation 5 controller, took it apart, looked into it, bought another one a year later, took it apart, and to my non-surprise, they already changed it in a year. So that's why I don't do Sony stuff, is because they change it too often, and you can't set up a procedure. You can't set up a procedure that you can just completely do without thinking about it while talking about the secret of NIM like this. But thanks for the super chat. Yeah, benheck.com. It downloads a random file. Oh, were you the one talking about it downloading an RSS on Twitter? I mean, I think... Actually, I don't know if there was an RSS on my site long ago for the podcast. I don't know if it still works. It might be. But I also redid my server in February. Because the old, for some reason I couldn't get the old server to upgrade to Ubuntu 20. It was stuck on like 14 or 16. So I was like, screw it. So well, also, because of the economy, I'm like, I probably don't need this droplet on DigitalOcean. I could probably save, I think it's like, well, the price went up. So I'm like, I can save $6 a month if I drop down to a dual core 2 gigabyte RAM, 60 gig, which is still enough. Because, no one, it's not like the old days where like everyone would, because everything's, does anyone even go to websites anymore? Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, so I also was like, okay, I'm just going to redo it. So, because I'm still trying to like, I did it all in the command line because I'm still trying to like force myself to learn more Linux, in case I'm in Jurassic Park. Yeah, I had an issue with, what was it? Well, I actually I didn't reactivate the forums, but I still kept all the forum data. So you can actually still go on the BenHeck forums and everything is still there. It's kind of I wouldn't say a Herculean task to do that. But when I put that on the new server, there was some sort of there was a problem with like bots or something. Like there was like a bot flood on the, it wasn't the main WordPress site. It was the benheck or the forums.benheck.com subdomain. And for whatever reason, it was getting hit with bots, like just tons of bots, crawlers and stuff. And it was actually like tanking the whole site. So I had a problem with that for a few days. And I discussed it with ChatGTP. And I just put in like a whole bunch of stuff to like, I can't remember all that I did. there's a bunch of stuff you can do to limit that. It was probably because it was a fresh install too. Some of the stuff probably had to be redone. But yeah, I would basically I would activate this. I would enable the site in Apache in Linux. Basically making it so it would redirect to forums folder. And as soon as I do that, I would have htop running, and like the site would like peg to like 100%. So it was definitely something with a PHBB 3 or 4 or whatever it was. It should be fixed now. The site, like I said, I deliberately got a lower performance server because really all that site is for ordering controllers. So, but I saved $6 a month. I could buy a beer at the bar with that, or well, if it's happy hour, I could easily get a beer at the bar for $6. Every little bit counts. Yeah, Keith, I installed what did I do? I installed the very newest version of it. This was, like I said, this was in February, and then I migrated. Like, I cleaned the old database, I flushed all the unused records, blah, 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 blah. I did all of that, and then I ported it over. So it was the existing database on the newest PHBB. But something else that had changed was the go-to now is Maria SQL instead of MySQL, although it's all the queries are compatible. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, actually, it took me because I manually built well, okay, this is only the second time I manually built a website from the command line, but I don't remember having the bot problem in when was the last time I did it? 2018. Because because I've had benhack.com for 21 years, and I've probably I know exactly how many times I've redone it. It's this is the 9th iteration of it. Gosh, I'm surprised there's that many. And I never had that problem before. But always the hardest part is restoring the forums. Although this time it wasn't too bad because the last time I did it, which is 2018, I think that's when I ran a bunch of jobs to flush out a bunch of crap that we didn't need. So like the database size was like bloated by hundreds of megabytes, which is a lot because it's only like 300 megabytes total. But yeah, there's a lot of crap in there, but not anymore. But yeah, it all still works. You can go to it. I think all the attachments and the images all still work too, because a lot of stuff still links to that, Oh, really, Keith? Interesting. Yeah, I put on stuff so like the SQLs could only be executed from the local host. So I did do a bunch of stuff like that. So I don't know if it was like zombifying my site, but it was definitely something was happening. And yeah, it would happen like 10 seconds after you enabled the Apache. After you enabled the subdomain in Apache, it's almost instantaneous. So who knows? Maybe something was already there. Okay, up, down, left, right, secondary. Okay, right, left. Uh-oh, that one's got a stick on it. Up, down. Is there? That's weird. Left and down are tied together. Is everything else good? Looks like it. What are you doing? The blood is horror. I don't... Well, left, wait. Yeah, down and left are next to each other. Because it goes right, up, ground, down, left. Well, I guess I could beep it out. Those things are those things like down? Wait, down. No, those things aren't really next to each other on the circuit board. That's weird. 1 hour 30 minutes. That's not too bad. Oh, I jinxed it. Well, these feel fine. One kilo ohm. That's pretty low. Monday morning, you sure looked fine. Friday, I got traveling on my mind. First you love me, then you blah, blah, blah. Yeah, these other ones have that same? I don't think they would. Well, they might. No, not even close. It's actually a ton of resistance. Huh. That's weird. That's why we don't put all the screws in. Poor yellow belly guy died right in my arms. Oh, hey. Wait a minute. The new Indiana Jones DLC comes out tomorrow. Oh, yes! Oh. Oh, shit. No, oh, damn it. I'm going to buy it no matter what. God, I probably should do another one of these tomorrow. Yeah, because I got 3 more of these after this. Ugh. You should space it out. I will sell exactly 1 every 2 weeks. I'm a washerwoman. Yeah, I did everything correct. I did nothing wrong, but apparently... No, I did everything correct. This controller dropped the input. I mean, technically it did. Yes, because, you know, I have never made a single mistake in my whole life. Who's texting me? Oh, it's John. Geez, I had a lot of tabs open. Okay, okay, so it's down and left, so obviously you need to see this, not me. Gosh, maybe well, this is, maybe this is bridging something. Yeah, because it's, right, it's right, up, ground, down. Oh, oh yeah, see that? See that path there? I bet that's it. Oh, I gotta get my super peepers. Hey, bud, you want my super peepers? Super peepers. I can examine Bud. But I'm going to examine your feline herpes, okay? Yeah. Get out of here, camera. Get. We don't need ya. Oh, yeah, I see it. Well, wait. Jeez. Well, I can beep. Well, it's going to be the same result. 1,000 ohms. Can I give me the same result, you bitch? Yep, there it is. Get away from her, you bitch! See, it's not the size of your iron. It's how you use it. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, because, see, this one goes up here, it goes through that resistor, and then it goes into the... This is an I2C I/O expander chip. Kind of ghetto, but that's what they did. And then there's another test. The other test point is here. So yeah, I was probably hitting that guy there. I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter. Probably doesn't need to be that long. I can usually do all of this without my peepers, but well, look what happens when I use my peepers. And now I have no depth perception. I'm just like, snake! Yeah, see? Oh no! See, all that matters is what little part of the iron touches. In this case, yeah, you could fat finger it, hit something else. I don't like using those fine tip irons because then you don't have enough heat. I mean, I guess you could crank up the heat. Well, even if you crank up the heat to accommodate for it, you still have a smaller surface area that holds the heat. I just want being so bitchy. I just want to be done. I want to go. I want to be free. I want to become a washwoman. That looks connected. Me, a washerwoman. Yeah, this is a case where, like, yeah, you are just hitting it with the edge of your iron, but the edge of your iron might be hitting something else. 252 mega ohms. Okay, that's a cup of a carpenter. Mystery solved. I did do everything correct, and I did nothing wrong. Ever. Except for buying gold. I'm a frickin' genius. Is gold going up in price? Or are dollars going down in value? See also your house. Because it's like, wow! My house is worth this much more money. Oh, but wait a minute, to buy this same house costs that much more money. Oh no! Twist Twilight Zone ending! Consider, if you will, a man who thought he made a good investment. But the entire time his investment went up in value. Turns out dollars were going down in value. Nixon hadn't taken us off the gold standard by the time this episode was made, but it did happen in the 30s, though, so that part happened. Also, the Federal Reserve exists, I guess, in the Twilight Zone. A chicken in every pot, and all of your gold in Fort Knox. No! Go out and take the firstborn gold. Oh, I got a conspiracy theory. Now, YouTube might not like this. I think what they're going to do once the government decides to. So, yeah, they took the gold in the 30s so they could inflate the dollar because they had to remove competition. So if I was the assholes in charge and I'm like, oh man, what are we going to do about this debt? I know, the dollar is worth, oh look, the dollar's digital. Okay, now the dollar's worth $1 million. Well, the debt's gone. So if that ever happens, they're not going to take the gold this time. They're going to take the Bitcoin. Oh, dun dun dun. Sorry, Bitcoin bros. Spoiler warning from the future. Dun dun dun. Oh, how will they take the Bitcoin? It's a decentralized network. Yeah, Visa and MasterCard are going to say, oh, I see you're taking Bitcoin. And you no longer can use Visa or MasterCard. That's how they'll do it. Sorry, Bitcoin bros. Read a history book instead of burning them. Junior. I'll see you in 10 years. We'll see how right I was. I mean, Trump's alluded to it. Like, we could reprice the gold. We got all this gold in the vault, allegedly. Because the thing is, regardless of who's in charge, like, the national debt has... It's... I mean, it was out of control before COVID, but now it's, like, catastrophically out of control. So, yeah, they'll... At a certain point, they'll have to do something. I mean, because that's already a problem. Because we were talking about Dennis Nedry earlier, but see, all these people are like, oh, lower, we got to lower the interest rates. We got to lower the interest rates. Like that'll help, that'll help like big business and certain presidents who want to refinance a lot of casinos. But I think for the average person, it's probably not going to make a huge deal because. Like, what is the federal funds rate right now? Probably like, 4.25% overnight. See, and then the bank's going to charge you 3% on that, so you're going to be at like 7, which is, a good credit score mortgage right now. The problem is there's so much debt that the treasury yields have gone way up because they have to make them more lucrative in order to get people to buy them, because the more debt there is, the more risky. I mean, even something as quote unquote safe as a U.S. Treasury bond is it becomes more risky the more debt there is. Because the thing to remember is like everyone buys the debt. Like Social Security buys U.S. Treasury bonds, which is debt, and pensions buy it. Other countries buy it. China and Japan own a huge amount of it. So, but yeah, as the debt gets too high, oh god damn it! Look what I did. It was not my fault. It was Jerome Powell's fault. As the debt gets too high, the 5-year yield. No, was it 5-year or the 10? The 10-year was like flirting with 5%, which is kind of unheard of. So the problem is, the banks also buy treasury bonds. So if the banks can make 5% on a treasury bond, why are they going to risk 3% on a mortgage with you? Because even with all that debt, the United States government is still a safer bet than Joe Rando with a mortgage. So my point is, I think the mortgage rates might come down a little bit when they cut rates here, like in a week or so. But there's going to be the floor is going to be higher for the banks because of treasury bonds. That's going to be the twist ending. Well, I don't know if it's a twist ending, but it's going to be a twist. People are going to be like, what? Because it's already happened. Like we had like 2 rate cuts in 2024, and it barely moved the needle on mortgage rates because even then the treasury bonds were really high. All right, let's try this again. Up, left, right, down. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the other problem. Yeah, yeah. So if you already own a house, great. But if you don't, it's because housing prices have stalled, which is good because they're out of control. But the thing is, it's kind of like inflation. It's like deflation's never going to go down. The only thing it can do is slow how quickly it goes up. And same thing with housing. Like the thing is, I don't. They're not gonna, because the thing is, I can say the Federal Reserve can't say this, but I can. The Federal Reserve wants a recession, because if they can restrict business enough by tightening the lending standards, that will cause, well, it already has, that will cause recession, which is how they fight inflation. That's the only real way to fight it. You basically make it so people can't spend money, because that was one of the big inflationary factors with COVID. Was there was so much free money. Well, it was, yeah, worse than free, because he didn't have to pay the loan back, and that, so people had more free money, and so they spent more, which caused inflation. It wasn't just the fact that they were printing money out of thin air, although they were doing that too. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the death loop we're in right now. All right, so need the righty. How about red, and do I have any black? Oh, white might be okay. Yeah, that would look cool. Well, yes, yeah, that already happened with, like, yeah, Steam and Visa. It's going to happen. I have noticed Louis Rossmann has been getting more upset and a little bit more black-pilled. He's still got a long ways to go. He's like, this is like Black Mirror. Everything's like Black Mirror. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, wake up. Well, yeah. Because think about it, like in the past, if a business, you needed to find new customers or repeat customers, but now it's like, oh, we'll just make everything a subscription plan. So it's like you're trying to get more money out of the same group of customers, so you don't actually have growth. Or like, let's say you're Pepsi. Oh yeah, I gotta go to the dentist tomorrow. Well, it's too late. I already drank Pepsi for too many decades. Stopping a year ago won't help anything now, except for my wallet. But yeah, like, let's say you're Pepsi, and you're like, oh, we can literally double the price of our sugar water because there's other inflation going on. But boss, won't people realize that then the same time beer hardly went up in price at all? No one will notice that. So, and this is where I think a lot of the fake economy comes from. So if you're like, okay, well, we're charging way too much money, but we're making more. Well, we're making more, the same amount of money because we raised our prices. But what happens is downstream, and this has already happened, like, oh, they're closing plants. So it's like, okay, yeah, so corporate is still making the same amount of money, but they're making it off of fewer sales. And that means all of the downstream stuff suffers recession. And so the top looks like it's okay, which is why Wall Street still looks like it's okay. But yeah, plants are getting closed, people are getting laid off, truckers aren't getting the hours, Ball's not selling as many cans, or whoever makes their cans. So it causes a downstream recession, and I think it's worse now than it's ever been. All right, okay, so we got this guy, and then we're just about done. I can stop talking about macroeconomics. Which is why I need to step it up, but I was looking at, I wanted to get some land. And yeah, I wanted to do it before they cut rates, but I think I'm not going to have time. It might not affect land as much because the banks don't. It's not exactly like a mortgage. Like it's yeah. because the banks, yeah. It's still crazy though. Like I'll be like on Zillow, and it'd be like, oh, here's some land, or here's a shitty cabin, and it's like, okay, well it was $40,000 in 2010, and now it's $120,000. It's like, oh yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. Great. You know, all the real estate's like that. You're like, you had to take like your boomer who bought their house for 20 grand back in the 70s or the 60s, and that house has appreciated way more since then than just the rate of inflation, even with like the Nixon gold crap. Heck pilled. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously things will go up with tariffs, but some of it is like people already weren't buying new cars. So it's like, oh no, now it's more unaffordable. Oh, hey, is that a patch in the concrete? I never noticed that before. Well, yeah, I mean, that's already happened though. Although used cars have gotten less ridiculous, but they're still way too much. Because as I mentioned, I've also been looking for a Ranger. It's ridiculous. Like, it's like, oh yeah, 20-year-old Ranger, maybe $5,000, and that's if you're lucky. It's like, that's ridiculous. It's like, like a 2005 Ranger in 2010 would have been like $2,000, and now it's $5,000. Oh, that's all of them. Okay, cool. All right, right is black. I shouldn't use that color. But I want a Ranger. I don't want a Mazda. I don't know. I just got this thing about... Yeah, I've never owned a foreign vehicle. Have I? No, I never have. Call me old-fashioned. Well, my dad was a car guy, so... You know, he would have never owned a Ford, so I guess he would have hated that anyway, but... I don't know. I don't have anything against foreign cars. I just always just like to buy American cars. It's like, well, you know, I mean, the Japanese cars are better, but I don't know, you know. I don't know. I like having, you know, like my car was made in Michigan. I think that's cool. And yes, I know they make tons, you know, I don't know. Yes, I know Toyota's got all these plants and stuff. Well, and going back to the beer analogy, it's like, oh, here is a 12-pack of Miller High Life, and it's made, and they have a union, and it's made in Wisconsin. And does Pepsi have a union? And it doesn't take you 2 weeks to brew Pepsi, and yet it's $10.99 a pack. It's only $1 cheaper for Pepsi. That's ridiculous. Actually, the last time I went to Kroger, they had all their ridiculous sales back up, and actually I bought some. It was the rip-off Pepsi was buy 2 get 2 free, so I bought 4 of them, which makes it, drum roll, normal price. I mean, Kroger's been having those sales for at least the last year. So I mean, like that's actually when I started thinking about the price gouging versus volume oxymoron, or well, whatever it would be called. It's like, oh man, yeah, they obviously need to move this Pepsi, because how could it not be hurting sales when you literally double the price of something? And yeah, these don't look like the original. Oh wait, no, what am I? This isn't the. God, that doesn't look like the original analog stick. That's because it isn't. Well, 98 Ranger, yeah, that's a good year. Oh, hey John, how's it going? No, John, it's, I am really pedantic. So, metric and English. So, I use a 3.5 for what you're suggesting. Although, a 1/8 would be about this. Yeah, because 1/8 is, 3.25 millimeter, I want to say. It's like, actually, these, I actually do all of these with metric. So these are all metric. Also made in America. But yeah, so I usually use a 3.5 for that. Because if you're making like a 3D printed hole, 3 millimeters usually works to grab it. Well, if you're not using an inset, 3 millimeters usually works pretty good to grab the teeth, although maybe ever so slightly over. 3.5, you'll definitely have clearance where the screw will move freely. Yeah, I mean this looks like this. Yeah, that looks like a 1/8 inch. This is definitely more than 1/8 inch. So yeah, 1/8 inch is definitely closer to 3. But you know what else? You can just wiggle it around a bit. Oh. A 3/3. I don't know. Like the really tiny bits, they're always like breaking. Like I overuse this 2 millimeter bit here. I'm surprised it hasn't broke yet. Because, well, okay, all the screws on this are English, but for whatever reason, I just use my metric bits. I don't know why. I guess, yeah, because like I don't know, the metric bits, they just make more. Oh God, I'm sounding like a European. The metric bits make more sense. Because I just use I use the 2, this is the 2, this is these, this is size 4, so I use a 2.5 millimeter, and then the big holes I use a 5 millimeter. I mean, normally, well, it depends on the project, but if most of the project uses metric stuff, like my film scanner or my cat food, then I'll design everything in metric. So it really comes down to what the parts originate in. Although there are a lot of things that are metric, but they'll actually be exactly imperial sizes. Like, you know, you'll take something apart, like that's made in like China or whatever, but it'll actually, you know, it'll be like, inside it'll be like 7 inches wide. It'll be like a 1/4 inch thick, which is like, what is a 1/4 inch? It's like, what is that? 1/4 inch is like 7.2 millimeters, I want to say. Because yeah, a lot of times you get like when we were talking about Hobby Lobby earlier. Like if you go to Hobby Lobby or Menards, and if you buy their sheets of plywood to like laser, like the little ones, they'll be 1 foot by 2 foot, and then it depends. Like Hobby Lobby calls it 1/4 inch, but it's actually 6 millimeter. And whereas I believe Menards actually says that it's 6 millimeter, but it's, you know, it's in millimeters. Yeah, I don't. Oh crap! Am I out of flexible D-pads? Oh, that's not good, considering right now I am having trouble getting my MakerBot to print them for some reason. I might have to take off the AMS on the Bamboo and run some direct TPU. Yeah, I mean, if you're just doing small stuff, I mean, what's the difference? It's just numbers, right? Who cares if it's 10 inches or 10 centimeters? Who gives a shit? I mean, yeah, it makes more sense like with kilometers and meters and, you know, scientific base 1000. Well, based off base 10, because we have 10 fingers. Not quite as scientific as they'd like you to think. But I mean, you know, if it's just numbers, who gives a shit? If it's 10 millimeters or 10 inches. Also, it's just hard to think in millimeters as a 49-year-old American. You know, like what can I think of? I can think of a 9mm bullet. I can think of 35mm film. That's it. Yeah, that's about, yeah, that would be about 35mm. Then 9mm would be like that. Yeah, I am going to VCF next week. I don't have a table this year. I am just going to walk around because yeah, the last couple of years I had a table and I just didn't get to see enough. So, but yeah, I will be there. So if you see me, feel free to, you know, say hi. Do I not have any one of those rubberized ones? I don't think I do. Ah, shit. Yeah, actually, my big problem with metric is thinking of things like in centimeters. Like, you know, like this box here. Like, I could tell you that it's like probably 13 inches wide, but I couldn't even guess how many centimeters that is. That's where I struggle. Do I have any of these left? Innocent cat. Oh no, I woke you up from your dream of fish. Eat this. Eat it. Oh no, that's not. That's something else. Well, I do have this Hyper PLA one. I guess it'll work. Yeah, John, that's exactly why. Like the last couple of VCFs, I hardly saw anything. And VCF is in a new location now. They're at the Schaumburg Renaissance Center, which is actually the same place the Pinball Expo is. And when they were at the old location, like at the after party, that's when I would actually go around and look at stuff. But now I'm pretty sure like they closed the hall and the after party is like in the hotel lobbies. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk around this year. There was this cool, like I think it was like a Texas Instruments portable computer, compact computer 40 or something. Because I was thinking about it yesterday. Because I think they only wanted like $40 for it. I looked it up on eBay and it's like $100. I'm like, oh damn, I should have bought that. So I don't know. I wish I would have bought that. It was only $40. It was kind of like a, I don't know. It's probably about like yay big. It had like a little printer. So it was bigger than like a, you know, like a Sharp or a TRS Pocket computer, but it was pretty neat. So you know, it was kind of looked like a miniature TRS Model 100. These don't fit that well. This sucks. One more piece to solve the puzzle, and I don't have it. 2 hours, 5 minutes. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy the show, Xiaonu. It's definitely been exploding in size. I think LGR is going to be there. Usually 8-Bit Guy goes, and Adrian's Digital Basement, and Robin's almost always there. Sometimes Bill Hurd is there. Jerry Ellsworth has been coming the last couple of years. Yeah, it's a pretty cool show. I just hope it doesn't get too big, like MGC. MGC definitely feels like it's gotten too big. MGC feels like the friend who like gets like a shitty girlfriend or like becomes born again or something. It's like, I don't know you, man. Dude, you used to be cool. Not cool, man. It's like they got Yoko Ono'd. It's like the after party at MGC, like, I mean, they were big Voodoo Rangers, but like they're like charging like Las Vegas, like NFL stadium prices for beer. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like a tall boy Voodoo Ranger was $15. It's like, you know, inflation's not that bad. Hey, Cameron. Yeah, LGR is gone for like the last 3 years, I want to say. I like Clint. Clint's actually a pretty chill dude. He's fun to hang out with. Actually, I think, God, was that last? No, it was 2 shows ago. Yeah, Clint got COVID, and I think that was actually the time when I realized I was fully immune. Because I remember he was on YouTube, he was like, well, I got COVID for the first time. And I'm like, oh shit, I was hanging out with that guy. And I actually had very light symptoms, like the next Monday. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm immune now. I guess I'm immune now. That was 2023. Up, down, left, right. Shit. You know what I mean, like the Yoko Ono kind of girlfriend. Yeah, he shaved his head. Yeah, he's way ahead of me on that. He's like, I am LGR the Bald. Do you get migraines? No. What does a migraine feel like? I felt kind of shitty back in January, although everyone did. Like, apparently there was a lot of shit going around. Who knows, maybe it was COVID. Yeah, there was actually a lot of days. I would have like a pain behind my right eyeball. I don't know if that's a migraine or not. I guess no. Because aren't migraines like disabilitatingly painful? Or they just make you go like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. Yeah, that's a little off. Oh, brain fog. I had that with COVID. Or like, actually, I wouldn't even say brain fog. It was like a general sense of dizziness for like a day or two after the. Seems like I've talked about this a million times, but like one day of really bad symptoms, like really bad, like where it's like I don't even want, like I would like the 2 times it happened. Most of the days like laid in bed. I didn't like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I didn't like feel like what was it? It was like the first time felt like it felt like a really bad hangover. And the second time it felt like a really bad nasal infection, like pressure. And then a day of that, and then a day or two of like a general like kind of like dizzy malaise. Dizzy malaise, it sounds like a dancer from like the 1930s. Come see Dizzy Malays, the finest dancer in all of Chicago. Starring Renee Zellweger. There, we brought Renee Zellweger back. Migraines do that? Oh, no, I haven't had any of that happen. I did have a time when, I think it was before I changed blood pressure medication, which maybe I need to do again. I need to check up badly, but I remember like I would go to Menards, and the overhead fluorescence would really bother me. That was probably like 2022. Oh, darn it, I turned off my glue gun. Ugh. One Henry Torwood coil and 48 hertz sweep, non-invasive. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, that's weird. The analog stick looks a little off-center. You see that? Yeah, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? What the heck? That's weird. Has it always been like that? It's centered, isn't it? What the bleeding Christ? I just want to be done. Well, at least Bud hasn't started mewing yet, like the other time. Bud, are you a soft mewer? Or Bud? Do you have a wake word, which is Bud? Do you have cute bean feet? Look at your bean feet. Sharp claws connected to deadly beans. Wait, beans connected to deadly claws. Look at these big old fish hooks. You could tear through a walrus. You're gonna tear through a walrus? Look at how big your paws are. Big, meaty paws. Rah. Oh, claw paws. Rah. Eat the human. Rah. Well, I should be just about done here, so I'll probably bounce out of here pretty quick since it's 10:52. That way I could at least do something before I go to bed. Oh, you know what I bet it is? Yeah, this is thicker. That is thicker than the pot. So see how this has got a tab to key it? So it only goes on one way. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Alright, I'll need to adjust that. For now, I'm going to adjust it with the Dremel. What's all this crap on my Dremel? What is this? Looks like, oh yeah, that's that silk filament. This is kind of awkward. I guess that was enough. Heistatron, what is your main directive? To heist. It's not really centered as well as I would like. Oh, God. Ugh. Ugh. Maybe if I make some more random noises, that'll fix it. Maybe if I cut off this braid, it'll fix it. Yeah, that'll fix it. Oh yeah, I think the new Tron movie is this fall. It's called Tron. Jared Leto still has a job. Legacy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like how this one is centering, or rather not. I might actually go back to this one just for this controller. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow, late afternoon. Because I think I've had enough for one night. But yeah, thanks for everyone who stopped by. Yeah, I guess I'll keep you posted if I'm going to do a shop arrangement video. October 10th? That's not too far from now. All right, thanks everyone who stopped by, and I'll see you next time. And maybe I'll see some of you at VCF. All right, goodbye everyone. Say goodbye, bud. Your wake word is bud. Bud, are you the best cat ever? Probably not.